It's finally here, from a technical point of view, the most spectacular mechanical gaming keyboard that makes keyboard and gamepad become one. We are of course talking of the Cooler Master MasterKeys MK850. And no, this is not your usual gaming keyboard, because the MK850 is actually equipped with the so-called Aimpad technology. Apparently this should allow for analog control as we see it on gamepads and controllers, which means certain keys need to be pressure sensitive and therefore could be registered steplessly, if you will, which in turn means in certain game titles you would be getting a more soft, precise input without that jerky tapping. So this could come in as a real benefit in racing games. I'll show you guys some comparisons a bit later into the video, even in a first-person shooter. Anyway, what can be said about the MK850 right away is that it pretty much brings to the table all one could dream of when it comes down to a gaming keyboard. But that does reflect in terms of pricing. $200 at the time of this video is pretty steep for a keyboard. On the other hand, it needs to be said, this is something truly extreme and that does cost money. And if I'm not mistaken, this is the world's first full-size keyboard of this type. But who could possibly need something like this? And could we maybe be looking at what is the best keyboard in the world right now from a technical point of view? Or is there a catch? Alright, first off, let's focus on the more usual stuff and looks. Following that, we'll be diving into the hot new feature. The aesthetics here, as we're used to by Cooler Master, are great and appealing, although the MK850 does scream gaming a fair bit more than its little brother, the MK750 did. The MK750 has been my daily driver since the end of 2017. The build quality is truly top-notch here, even though it doesn't appear like it at first glance. But this, in fact, is an anodized brushed aluminum chassis. The huge soft padded wrist rest is amazing. It is held in place by strong magnets. This wrist rest does offer even more comfort than the one on the MK750 does, in my opinion. It's really soft and makes long hours of typing more enjoyable. But of course, given the size, it does take up quite a bit of space on one's desk. And for those that in general dislike wrist rests, you're being rewarded with a nice visible RGB light bar if you don't attach the wrist rest. The keyboard is connected via a detachable modern USB Type-C cable that first of all is nicely braided, and secondly, at the bottom can go into these cable management grooves in 3 ways. Rubberized stands and feet are pure obligation, of course, and even the wrist rest is equipped with feet. Furthermore, we do get a USB 3.0 hub. Also on board are 5 dedicated multimedia keys, as well as 2 so-called precision wheels that can be used to control LED brightness or volume. However, there's more you could map those wheels to. In order for the Aimpad technology to work properly, linear switches are a must. Therefore, the only ones in question are the red ones. In this case, Cherry-Max red switches. The MK850 therefore can only be picked up with red switches. And typing on those, in my opinion, is a very pleasant experience, even though I'm usually more into the brown ones. Just as on the MK750, we do get 4 profiles here too, as well as glorious RGB lighting that cannot be missing these days. Pretty much self-explanatory is the fact this keyboard comes with an N-key rollover, features 512 kilobytes of onboard memory, and a good 32-bit ARM MCU. Included in the packaging are 2 guides, one for the calibration process of those Aimpad keys, and very kind, 18 PBT keycaps in that Cooler Master color purple, also a keycap puller. But now let's talk about these Aimpad keys. First of all, not the whole keyboard is equipped with such, only the 8 most important ones for gaming. If Aimpad is turned on, we can switch presets for different types of games or configurations with these M1 to M5 keys on the left hand side. M1 being the normal keyboard mode, M2 FPS mode, M3 driving and flying mode, M4 advanced flying mode, and M5 speed mode. All that can be reprogrammed programmed in this software though. Alright, that sounds all good, but how exactly does Aimpad work? In order for those small subtle inputs to be registered, an infrared LED measures how far down the mechanical switch actually is. The light emitted from the LED is reflected off the bottom of the key, and then an infrared sensor measures exactly how much light is reflected. For instance, if there's a high amount of light reflected, the key is closer to the sensor. If there's only little light reflected, the key is at its highest point. You could think of it like a dimmer light switch where you have full control over the intensity. But before we can even make use of those Aimpad keys, they first need to be calibrated. That's done in just a matter of seconds and is super easy. All you need to know is in the quick guide. On the upper right we have our dedicated Aimpad setting keys for adjusting the sensitivity. But why explain the Aimpad technology in complicated words if I could just show you guys how it works? Let's start things off with a first-person shooter, in this case Battlefield 5. What I'm trying to do is not press down the keys fully, but instead only very lightly. In the traditional keyboard mode, there are only two steps, 0 or 100%, on or off. As you can see, I'm either stopping or am walking as fast as I can, no matter if I press down the key fully or not. With the Aimpad, on the other hand, I have full control over my movement speed. When I'm just holding down the W key a tiny little bit, I'm walking very slowly, and the more I press down the key, the faster I walk. With vehicles, for instance, in GTA 5, with a traditional keyboard you can only go for a full steering angle or none. There are no steps in between, but we do get such with Aimpad. As you can see, I can fully adjust my steering angle and I'm in full control over it. Same with acceleration of my car here. Without Aimpad, even when touching the W key just a little bit, I'm going full speed. With Aimpad, if I want to drive really slowly, I simply don't press down the W key all the way and therefore have control over my speed here. Now when driving with a higher speed without Aimpad, I constantly have to readjust myself by steering left and right by tapping the keys. We all have to do that. With Aimpad, my driving already does look smoother and more controlled. However, you have to get used to having that feature. My steering still seems fairly aggressive, but that's by reflex. As we know, practice makes perfect. Unfortunately, there are a lot of games that do not support the Aimpad technology, or at least not yet. I'd suggest taking a look at the official support list. The link is down below in the video description. As you can see, not even GTA 5 fully supports Aimpad. In vehicles it's fine, but once you get out and try to walk, you're just punching holes into the air. Once you switch back to normal keyboard mode M1, all returns to normal again. And for those that simply don't care about these new control options, but still have a crush on the MK850 and just want it, do not worry. With the Aimpad on-off switch, you can safely distance yourself from this new feature completely. Just a shame you can't assign any macros or the likes to these M1 to M5 keys with Aimpad turned off. The software has tons of stuff to offer and comes with a nice clean user interface. Lots of customization options, be it key mapping, macros, profiles or lighting. But the keyboard doesn't necessarily need software to be controlled. Most can easily be done on the fly, and the RGB lighting and sheer amount of effects and possibilities is very impressive. Now, what's the target audience here? Who could possibly need something so extreme? I'd say gamers that want the best of both worlds, the benefits of a keyboard mouse setup as well as benefits that come with gamepads or controllers. Either way, in my opinion, the MK850 is the best keyboard I've ever laid my hands on so far. It even beats my ultimate favorite one, the MK750, simply because that comfort, thanks to that amazing wrist rest, is on a whole new level. Price performance wise, I don't believe the keyboard should get gold here, but given the extremely good feature set, whether you need that or not, I'm making a rare exception here, because from a technical point of view, the MK850 more or less is flawless in my opinion, and offers quite a lot more than other high-end keyboards. So this is why the MasterKeys MK850 still receives my gold award. But no doubt it's an absolute high-end product when it comes to peripherals, and therefore might not be everyone's top pick. If you don't need all those bells and whistles and prefer to choose your desired switches, I'd advise you to check out the also truly great MK750. And with that said, it's time to end this fairly long video. Thanks a lot for watching.